Go ahead, Coach. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Before I talk about the game in Georgia Southern, Tyler Kane will not play this year. We kind of pushed the decision and get the one that we didn't want to get. I really pushed it because it's obviously it's a senior year and stuff. We pushed it and did not get a favorable response on Thursday afternoon and stuff. So that's why we come in. So he will not play. So very disappointing. I have not seen the interpretation of it yet, so I don't know necessarily what was conveyed on their part. On the injury front, came out of it really good. So I don't anticipate anything. Darian Ford did get banged up last week during the week, and he did make the trip. But I think he'll be fine. And we actually came out of the game pretty good when you look at it and stuff. So we had obviously a few kids sore here and there, but nothing. At least starting out the week, I anticipate and we hope that we should be pretty good going into the week. So some good things from the game. Looking at it, I was really impressed with our special teams. Thought we had some guys that made some improvements there against people that are they kind of pride themselves out of it pretty good. So I thought that phase of it was good. I actually thought that we played harder, longer than what we did against Southern, so I was pleased with that. I thought that the weather helped a little bit, but obviously I think it was good at Southern too. So, but I thought from a conditioning standpoint and things like that, I thought we were better off than what we were the week before. So that improved. The bottom line really in the game, when you look at it, is simple. I mean, we couldn't get off the field and we couldn't stay on the field. So you can't do that for. You look up and you're behind 21-28, and it's kind of it's a rough road there. But early in the game, like I said, we couldn't get off the field. Even when we got in the third down, they converted. And then when you look at our situation, I actually thought we were moving the ball early in the game, had a good nice rhythm, but we dropped a couple passes and this. I don't know. Anyway, then you look up and, like I said, we couldn't stay on the field long enough. Offensively, I thought we did a few good things. When you look at it, we threw it Carter a little bit. The run numbers, Houston had 87 yards rushing in their game against Oklahoma, and they were ahead and running the ball in the second half. Tough sledding. We knew that going in. I think their front six guys, when you look at it, they're as good as anybody. I mean, forgot what they project, but they project they're going to be NFL guys, and you look at their size, and like I said, the front six guys were the ones that we were really concerned about going in. Defensively, again, I think I counted or whatever. We played 26 players on defense, so we played ones, twos, and then some extra guys. Got a lot of guys in there. Got a lot of guys in the game. I thought, looking at it from a performance standpoint, I thought we played harder. I thought, but they kind of overwhelmed us in a few positions. They're making plays. When you look at them the week before versus last week, they were throwing it and catching it, and they were short. As opposed to what they did the week before in terms of Houston had a lot to do with that. But I mean, they didn't make plays that they normally made, and they made them the other night. Moving forward, Georgia Southern, it's a great opportunity for us. They're a 2-0 team. I think picked second. I think preseason. Them and App State were kind of the consensus choices to win the Sun Belt, and you see why. I mean, I think the first thing that jumps out with Georgia Southern is their speed. When you see them, and they can run. I mean, both quarterbacks can fly. The running backs are good. What I've been really impressed with last night and this morning watching them is the effort they put out on defense against South Alabama. You look at it, South Alabama beat Mississippi State the week before. Georgia Southern went to Mobile in their place and held them to 3 field goals. And so I was really impressed with what they did defensively. When you think Georgia Southern, when I think Georgia Southern, I think option and speed and all that. But I was really, really impressed with what they did defensively in terms of just totally stopping the run for South Alabama and turning them into one-dimensional, really just throwing the football and really from start to finish control the game. When you look at it, I mean, the game really wasn't in limbo at all and stuff. So really impressive. So, but we're excited about going. It's a place, one of the places I have marked that been there. We played Georgia Southern 3 times. I was in the East. We went to Statesboro twice. A beautiful place, great, on-campus atmosphere usually, and I think this will be the 4th different head coach that I've actually played at Georgia Southern and stuff. Going back to Paul Johnson, the first time we played him down there, but like I said, great tradition, good place to play, and looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, when you watch the film of these guys and everything, and there have been some questions going into the year whether they were going to get away from that option that's traditionally been their bread and butter. I mean, you look at the rushing numbers just statistically, and they're pretty solid. What have you seen on film? Are they still sticking with that base?
Based off of what I saw last year, and I only watched them a little bit last year, but I actually played against Coach Fritz. If you look at it, it doesn't seem like at times they have as many moving parts to the option as they did, with guys with receivers motion and everybody motioning around. But I think what Coach Summers has done is he's incorporated, some of his stuff that he did not only at Colorado State, but he was also at Central Florida. So I think you see some of the throwing stuff that they did, but yet they kept the option flavor. So it's still about defending the option, no doubt about it. But I think you can see kind of some of the things that he's added. Like I said, it doesn't seem like even at least in the first 2 games, as many guys motioning, as many wideouts have become pitch guys, and all that kind of stuff. They've kind of settled into some formations that they're running the option out of, and then they're throwing the ball a little bit more.
Coach, you mentioned their defense. I think I read a stat they haven't given up a touchdown in the last 10 quarters. How do you guys kind of approach that challenge?
Well, I mean, we obviously have to be really sharp in looking at it. And I guess you're right, because going back to the bowl game too, never thought of it that way, because in the first 2 games they certainly haven't. But what they do a great job of, I think, is everything stays in front of them, and they just. If you look at what they're doing, the first week 1 and week 2, it's not heavy blitz or anything like that. I mean, just a 4 down front. I think we're going to know where they are, by looking at what they're doing. They will play some man, but it's not just blitz, and everybody's on an island. But they do a nice job of keeping things in front of them, and I've been impressed with. Like I said, the first 2 weeks they've really tackled. They've done a nice job of tackling, and you get, and South Alabama, I mean, they got first downs, but they got down and moved the ball a little bit, and they made them kick a field goal, and they're doing a nice job, like I said, of keeping things in front of them. But defensively, it's more about the players than it is the scheme.
You talk about what they're doing on defense and everything, but the way you guys have been able to move the football through the start of the season, plus especially down in Oklahoma, does that give you some confidence that as good as they are and fast and everything, that you should be able to score some points and get some things done? Yeah,
I certainly hope so. I think we have the ability to do it, and we'll have to be able to run the ball better than what we did last week in terms of having some balance but we just need to continue to execute and. We dropped some balls the other day, but our guys made some plays too. RJ had a big game, and great to see. Alec make a great catch. He did in the end zone, and so things. If you look at it, what I also like is things have been spread out. It's not just one guy, and if you look at the deal, Holly, and Perry actually sat out last week too, but they had. The bigger games, and then this last week it was RJ Turner, and then so hopefully we continue to kind of spread it around and stuff. But hopefully Garrett can continue to because he really did some nice things the other day. His decision making was so much better than it was the first week and stuff, and the decisions he made and stuff. So moving forward, we're excited about that.
The way y'all played the second half, does that give y'all some momentum going forward?
I hope so. I really do. But, it's momentum, really kind of stops us or continues at Tuesday practice. That's kind of how it is and stuff. So, momentum in sports, I think, is always a tough thing to gauge. I think it was one of my favorite lines in sports, Jimmy Leland, y'all got momentum. He said momentum in baseball is tomorrow's starting pitcher, and, in football, from Saturday night to Tuesday and how you practice. I mean, that'll kind of determine, really the momentum and stuff and how that works. But hopefully, we're gaining confidence and we're gaining some experience, especially on the defensive side. I mean, if you look at it, look, let me clarify this. I'll never make an excuse, but I'm just pointing out facts because I'm not an excuse maker. But we got a bunch of guys that never played. And, you take out Justin Backus and Trey Hunter, and it's scary, really in terms of just true game playing experience. I'm not talking about starting experience. I'm talking about even playing and being in the game and playing, and you get thrown out, first home game, and everybody excited, and stuff, and then you get thrown in that situation and stuff with very talented players. And, I think we continue to improve. I really do. Because, but you got to get out there and got to execute. You got to get them, we have to get them out there and get them as many snaps as we can get them.
So the fact that you saw the fight in that team in that second half throughout the first half winner.
Yeah, I was really pleased with that. I was pleased with their response at the halftime to what we had to say, which was all positive. There's nothing to do about the first half, but squad play. So everybody give great effort, stay together. You improve the second half. Basically, we challenge each person to do, hey, you improve. You play better than what you did in the first half. If we all do that, then we'll have a chance to do some good things in the second half. And I thought that happened. So yeah, I mean, you don't want to get behind like that, but I did like the fight. I saw some good fighting in a lot of them.
Going back to the defense, then you talk about how these guys haven't played much and everything, and they just need to really get out there and get some snaps under their belt. As a coach, there's really nothing you can do about that, is there, other than just making sure that they're in good positions based upon your game plan?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, all you can do is throw them out there and continue to prepare them and try to do the very, very best job you can to prepare them. And I think the other thing too that's important is that you correct mistakes but by the same token, you try to build some confidence in them, and stuff, because I'm a big believer in building confidence more than experience. I've seen guys that guys having confidence in getting out there, and because so much of the game is trusting what you see and reacting to what you see, and having that confidence to trust what you see. And that's what I constantly tell them, see a little, see a lot, see nothing, see what you need to see and react. But, at times when guys haven't played, they get out there and they're big guys, they're looking all over the place, and you don't see anything. Make sure that you're seeing what you need to see and react. And it just seems like that sometimes at some of the situations that we get guys, which chalk it up a little bit inexperience, they're seeing too much. See a little, see a lot. See a lot, see nothing. And trying to, but that takes confidence to do that, to trust what you see and react. Rather than trying to, seeing too much on both sides of football.
Maybe obvious question, but the importance of starting off, conference play on the right foot.
Be huge, obviously, especially with an open date next week, and in Auburn, we won't be back in conference for for 3 weeks. So, sure, it'd be big, and anytime in any league, especially a team that's as talented as they are, but if you go get them on the road, especially early in the year, I mean that is huge and stuff. So, yeah, I mean I think our meeting with them today, and I think they'll understand that. I mean this is a big game.
You've got two game films really to watch here. Going back to the Southern game, you're telling us how there was some unknown to that, and you really weren't sure what to expect. And even though you've got 2 films to watch and everything, is there some of that carrying over this week since you got a new staff that's doing different things over there at Georgia Southern?
Yeah. Well, I think we have a lot of really, really good tape from last Saturday and stuff to watch, and the Savannah game was like our Oklahoma game. I mean, it was whatever. I mean, it was out of hand early in the game and stuff. So, anytime that happens, you're not really sure what you're seeing moving forward, and stuff. But the South Al game, 24-9, very, competitive throughout and stuff. So I think we got a lot of a lot off that tape and stuff because South Alabama is actually talented, obviously talented, beating Mississippi State and stuff. So, I mean, you see two talented teams that are pretty equal ability-wise go at it for 4 quarters. You got a great indication of what they want to do.
Coach, I'm not trying to put you against the NCAA or anything, but with the Tyler Kane issue, I guess just for him personally, being a local guy, last year potentially the eligibility not working out, and he figured to be a big part of your offense this year. I guess just for him personally, I'm sure it's very frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, for him personally, I think, obviously, I'm devastated for him personally, not for this football team. But for him personally, just because, it didn't take me long to figure out what kind of kid he was, and stuff. And, just being around him all Christmas and the way he worked and the way he went at it and stuff. And that's what, I'm going to fight for every kid, but that's what made it really easy to go fight, like we did and stuff. And, and keep sending in stuff and keep sending in stuff and keep the process going. And really, and Tyler knew that, but I made a calculated deal, which is sometimes it's hard with the NCAA because I could have pulled it 2 months ago, but when you're looking at it, it's the final line. Okay, we go ahead and sit you down, and then when you win, well then you didn't do anything, or we keep you in, and then if you lose, well that's somebody. So I mean you have to weigh that, but I was weighing more for him than I was anything else because as long as there was a chance and I guess it's different opinion on what kind of chance. Obviously, now that we lost, but I wanted him out there and stuff, and he and I talked Friday morning, and I told him, you helped us. You helped this program. You helped us as a coaching staff. You helped these kids because of what you did every day on the field, the way you carried yourself, your toughness. You helped us try to get this thing going because I promise you, there was. What's the word? Pushback? That was total opposite with him. I mean, you talk about all in, whatever. I mean, whatever we wanted to do and 100% positive and stuff. And so that was to me, like having a very, very mature young man, that's been through the ups and downs, too many, really. I mean, to be honest, you don't want anybody to go through, the ups and downs that he's had to go through in his career, and stuff. But I told him that too, and I think Alan McCall told him that as well. I mean, you helped us. I promise you, every day he was out here, helped a guy like Duke Carter, helped a guy like Kadeem White. I mean, helped a guy. I mean, any day a guy like that's out here, he's helping the program and stuff. So, and he and I talked, and we're going to talk in this week about him, staying around and stuff and helping us because he helps our football team. He helps his program.
When did you get the official word that?
It was actually late Thursday. Yeah.
Was it a surprising decision considering medical red shirts are kind of commonplace?
Well, no, not really. Not yes or no. Like I said, it was something that when you look at it, I've done these for years. It wasn't a textbook case. There was some circumstances, and what ends up happening is they ask, well, we need to see additional, and when we get one, then that's another month or two, and then you turn it in. Okay, well, this looks good, but how about this? And then you send it in, and then that was the process. And what happened was it got to like June or July, and then everybody swamps them, and then now the whole thing bogs down. What's ideal is when you get these situations taken care of in the spring, but they kept wanting more, wanting additional information, wanting additional stuff. Anyway, so other than the fact that he can't play, I don't regret doing what we did because we tried to, to fight for him and stuff. And like I said, it's just unfortunate that. But other than that, I don't want to comment on what they might have thought. Hey, who knows? I don't know.
Changing gears a little bit and going back to the game against Southern, played like 55 players, got some players last week in the game too. Going into conference now, do you kind of have an idea of what your rotations are?
I think. I would say, to be accurate, we have a better understanding, but 100% right now, no. We're still kind of looking at combinations and different guys doing different things and stuff, but I think we have a better understanding, after 2 weeks and certainly what we did going in. But I think, thinking back, maybe a specialist and something, but anybody that came to the game that we still are not maybe in the back of our minds, redshirt, and they all got in the other day. We traveled 70 guys, so I think 66, 67 of them. We held TJ out. We held Sam Williams out. We held Logan Latin out. Just trying to, still trying to decide whether we redshirt them or not or whatever, but trying to give them the travel experience because they could be playing here shortly. But, I'm just, my philosophy is like Duke Carter. We decided to take the red shirt off Duke. Well, he got in there, and he's going to get in there. I'm not going to put somebody in the game or something, Oh, well, let's see if we can go. The only way we want to take a shirt off of him, Kyle Nevels, we've taken the shirt off. I mean, he played from the jump, and he's going to keep playing. So that's kind of the way I've always looked at it.
You talked about having a lot of, I guess you'd say, moving parts on offense, playing a lot of different guys and everything. Is there a certain point this season when you kind of expect to pare that down a little bit?
Yeah. And that's something that we had a long conversation about yesterday and stuff. But, we kind of, both from a conditioning standpoint and really to be able to see them standpoint. But, we'll still play a lot of guys, but I think we have a better understanding of what guys and what positions, and stuff that we probably even had better than coming out of camp. This guy looks really good doing these few things. This guy, and stuff. So we'll start to play around with that, a little bit more as we go.
You get a lot of those players that, maybe in camp they don't show you something, but then once the lights come on, that's when they really, come out of their shell.
That's a good question. I don't really think so far, no. I don't think I've really been surprised by anything in terms of that. But we had a guy like last week. We actually had to wait because the NCAA had asked for clarification. So Steve Lamacco didn't play week 1 because we wanted to make 100% sure, and then he got cleared last week. I thought he played good. But we did it as precaution. I mean, everything checked out, everything looked good, but we wanted to get the official stamp, that he was good and, not take a chance. If they come back and say he wasn't, but for the first game, he was pretty good. He looked around, he ran around there pretty good, and hopefully we'll get him on special teams. So he looked good in practice. I'm not saying I'm shocked or whatever, but he looked like he got out there and he belonged. I thought that I was really, really pleased. I know as many points as they scored as much as they did, but our 2 corners, Backus and Offrey, and just in terms of playing their wideouts, man-to-man, it's not like they're wideouts, really. They hurt some of the crossers and the inside guys and the run stuff or whatever, but I thought our corners and Aaron Townsend also. This was also the first game last week, too, for Terry Osborne. Stuff, because he didn't play in week 1. He got beat on the fade right there at the end of the game, but he had pretty decent coverage. But I thought those guys mixed it up pretty good. And that one guy had to be, 6'6", that number. And shoot, Offrey, and we pressed them. We got up there and got after them and stuff, and I thought those guys really, really held their own when you look at it. They're like I said, they're wide receivers. They're outside guys. I think we counted 4 balls for 40 yards, 45 yards. It ain't like they just ran past us and threw deep balls and all that and stuff. We had more problems stopping the run and all that stuff on the inside than we did outside. So I'm impressed with that going forward. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.